changes, we'll keep you up to date with the latest information. News Talk KVNU 102 FM 610 AM.
KVNU News Time is 5:05. I'm Bill Walter with this news update brought to you by Whole Tree Care. A 28-year-old Hiram man has appeared before a judge for the first time on charges of sharing child pornography. Cobb Lay was arraigned on criminal charges after a warrant was filed for his arrest. Blay was arraigned during a virtual hearing in First District Court Monday morning. He was previously charged with 3 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, a second-degree felony. According to the arrest affidavit, Logan City police officers received a cyber tip last July from the Utah Attorney General's office. It alleged that several Facebook users were sharing child pornography through the social media site. The file was a video of a 5 to 8-year-old girl. Police were able to identify Blay and the other users involved from their Facebook profiles. They were reportedly all friends and co-workers. The other suspects were arrested and charged previously. According to court records, Blay is currently out of jail on $30,000 bail. He could face up to 15 years in prison if he is convicted. A man was taken into custody after police say he crashed several times while fleeing the scene from an auto pedestrian crash in Davis County. One of the crashes involved a fire truck. Officials with the Farmington Police Department said the incident began Monday evening with an altercation with another man outside a location. They said the suspect got into a car and struck the other man before fleeing the area. As he fled the scene, police say he got involved in other crashes, including one involving a fire truck. Information about the severity of the crashes was not released. Officers were called out to search for the suspect. As they did, investigators said the man returned to the original location. KUTV reports police were able to use a pit maneuver to stop the man and take him into custody. Officials said the victim of the original crash was transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Neither man's identities were released. Legislation with the potential to fine Idaho librarians $1,000 and send them to jail for a year for checking out material to a minor that could harm them cleared the House. The House voted 51-14 on Monday to approve the measure that backers say will protect children, but opponents say is so undefined and subjective as to be unconstitutional. KBNU weather brought to you by U&I Furniture, stocked up with a wide inventory. Lots of chairs, lots of varieties. There's a good chance they have what you're looking for. Always a better buy at U&I, 28 West 1st North, downtown Logan. Winter weather advisory in effect now until 11 o'clock Wednesday morning. Couple inches of snow tonight, more snow tomorrow, 50% chance, and then partly cloudy but colder on Thursday. You can always get more news at CashValleyDaily.com.
Is it too early to bring up yard work? What? Okay, but this is different. I'm talking about tree pruning. I know we haven't escaped winter yet, but right now is the best time to prune your trees. And the only thing you have to do is call Whole Tree Care, 760-6587. Right now they're offering an exclusive radio discount, so be sure to ask for it when you call, 760-6587. Get ahead of the spring rush. Get your trees and shrubs trimmed by Whole Tree Care, 760-6587.
The latest news 24/7. News Talk KVNU 610 AM and 102.1 FM.
This is the season to stock up. It's the Napa Gold Filter Sale. Up to 60% off all filters, tractors, four-wheelers, backhoes, even lawnmowers. If it's got a filter, it's on sale at your locally owned Preston to Providence Napa Auto Parts. While supplies last, Chevron Dello 15W40, $13 a gallon. Napa Synthetic Motor Oil, $3.89 a quart. Stock up big before oil prices increase. Seafoam Motor Treatment, $6 a can. The Napa Gold Filter Sale now through March 15th.
Napa know how. Napa know how.
It's a cold, blustery night, but you're warm and cozy inside in front of your new low-pi or extraordinaire fireplace. The dancing flames, nice even heat. You and yours are loving it, and you know it's love when they say,
"Boy, we're really saving on our heat bills, aren't we, hun?" For the love of savings, ask Chim Chimney about rebates up to $3,800 for qualifying conversions from inefficient wood stoves for fireplaces. We sell, service, and install. Visit us at chimchimney.com.
Internet carriers want to tell you they can save you money. What they don't give you is a personal face-to-face agent who knows you. This is Matt Robbins with Quality First Insurance. We're saving people 10, 20, even 30% on their insurance. I'm so confident we can save you some dough. If I can't, I will buy you a donut next door at Schaefer House Bakery. Take my challenge. You've got nothing to lose. Either way, you get the dough. Quality First Insurance. Give us a call, 752-0101, or come in and see us.
You already know H&R Block does taxes, but you may not know you can get expert help in person or virtually, or that our tax pros average 10 years of experience. You can even request the same tax pro every year, and your biggest possible refund is always guaranteed. At H&R Block, help is here. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund. Limitations apply. See hrblock.com/guarantee.
Make your appointment with H&R Block in Logan by calling 752-1651. That's 752-1651, or download the H&R Block app. Proud to be locally owned and operated. H&R Block in Logan.
Of the West, come along with me to the Cowboy Jubilee.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People, my absolute favorite hour of the year. Each and every year we have a chance to sit down with some of the musicians and talent behind the annual Cache Valley Cowboy Rendezvous. And they're here in studio with us. We have founder of the Rendezvous, Dale Major, with us. We have Ernie Seitz, a returning guest. I think 4 years in a row now, Ernie. You've six, something like that.
A long time.
A long time, yeah. I'm like a rock in a shoe. They don't know what to do with me. It's uncomfortable, but they don't take it away.
You must be doing something right.
I guess so. It's fun. No, it's great fun.
We also have here in the studio with us Chris Mortensen and John Chandler, and thanks to all of you for joining us here today. The Cache Valley Cowboy Rendezvous officially kicks off March 11th until the 13th, but this year they have a lot of extra special stuff involved in classrooms. In fact, these guys have already been out in classrooms here in Cache Valley and will be again tomorrow. They have musical events. There is a virtual option for those who would like to watch online, even for the ticketed events. And it is all getting underway this week, the Cache Valley Cowboy Rendezvous. And you can find out more at the website cvcowboy.org. They make it easy. cvcowboy.org. You can also find them on Facebook. I've linked to that on our own Facebook page. And as is tradition, start us off here with, again, founder of the Cache Valley Cowboy Rendezvous, Dale Major. And Dale, tell listeners out there who haven't had a chance to attend or be exposed to this, where the idea came from, and how you've managed to grow it every year.
Well, if they haven't been to it yet, I got to wonder where they live. It's under a rock or something. I still come across people that say they've never heard of it, and I'm like, oh, because we work pretty hard to get the word out.
News in Cache Valley.
Whether you like it or not, whether you come or not, I guess is your decision. But my job, I think, is to make sure you know it's there, and so we do quite a bit to promote that. That actually came as an idea. My kids and I perform a little bit, and we went to an event where we played on the open mic. Coming home, I thought, Cache Valley ought to be able to run something like this, support something like that, and that's kind of what started it out. And I talked to I had some good friends that I ran the idea past, and they all said, hey, yeah, that's good. We'll help you out. And so because of them, we went ahead, and we've been doing it now. This is our 12th year.
That's amazing.
And it's grown. We've kind of emphasized the educational part of it, and that would go back to Ernie Seitz. Ernie was the one that planted that seed there and told me to that was an option for us to use to try to bring more people in that might not otherwise be interested. And so they go out and do the schools. We get a grant from the Sorensen Legacy Foundation, which pays for these guys to come, and they go do school programs. They teach creative writing. They teach guitar. And John here, he's going to be teaching harmonicas. We've got a really nice harmonica coming.
And there's a story behind him this year that ties back into the grant sponsor, right? To the Sorensen Legacy Foundation.
Yeah.
The harmonicas didn't show up right.
Yeah, they did.
But
well,
Sorensen, they're fixing that.
They didn't show up.
Just use a common harmonica.
Yeah. Well, we went and found a supplier for them, and they came unmarked, and so we've got a good friend of ours that does engraving, and she's engraving the logo as well as the Sorensen Legacy Foundation and KSM Guitars. Now they're the ones that got them for us. He's the one that Chris down there did some work and found, got them coming here, and so they're all here and ready to go. It's going to be great.
Cool.
And other things that happen there during the week, we do with these people here last year because of COVID. See, we were worried about what we could do, and we thought, well, we'll start with something. Instead of looking at what we couldn't do, we thought, what can we do?
Sure.
And we had money to do the school programs, and the schools were willing. But we thought, these guys come, they don't want to just play for kids. Let's do something different. And so that's what spawned that virtual show.
Which was a pretty big success.
Which is pretty good, yeah. So we have a room rented down at the event center, and we do every night at 7:30, we highlight 3 of our educational outreach performers.
And that's happening right now.
That's happening,
right?
yeah. That'll be tonight.
Last night, tonight, and tomorrow.
Yeah, last night it was Chris and Ernie and our one poet, Mark Munsert. And tonight it's Clive Romney. Now Clive is a Utah guy. He teaches, and he's very popular in the schools because he teaches Utah history. He has a very unique program that teaches about Utah history.
Sure.
And then I can't think who the poet. I forgot who the poet was.
Tom Swearingen.
Tom Swearingen. Oh yeah, now Tom is an award-winning guy, poet from up in Oregon that's come down, and he does school programs. His wife is a writer as well, writes children's books, and we're just getting rave reviews back from him on what he's doing in the school. So these people are very talented, and we were able to bring them here, and then of course at the end of the week we'll have the big shindig where everyone can come and watch them. Now the other musician tonight will be Doug Figgs, and Doug comes out of New Mexico, and he's won a lot of awards for his songwriting and is a performer as well, and he's written some good songs there. He's a good guy to listen to. So if you can't come to the event center tonight, we do like to have a little bit of a live audience.
Sure.
But if you can't make it there, you just go to cvcowboy.org and hit the button, and you can go over to Facebook, or it might be Instagram. There's somebody. YouTube, we didn't get very good quality last year, so we're basically on Facebook. But come down and see it live. Yeah, no mask required. Last year we had to wear masks. This year we're no masking.
Yeah, and this is at the Cache Valley Event Center there at the Fair Park, and it is underway. Again, the official start dates are the 11th through the 13th, but this year, kind of making up for lost time in the previous years, they're holding these virtual events every night. You can also get down and see them in person. Again, as Dale mentioned, tonight at 7:30, musician Clive Romney and Doug Figgs, as well as cowboy poet Tom, am I saying this right? You said it already. Swearingen, okay. Then tomorrow night at 7:30, both virtually and in person at the Fair Park there, the event center, Kristen Lloyd and John Chandler who's here in our studio, will be performing alongside cowboy poet Thatch Elmer. Thursday night, Davis Anderson, Colt Blankman, and Eli Barcy. And then Friday night, as part of the official schedule at 7 p.m., a headlining performance by musician Doug Figgs and, again, John Chandler here in the studio with us today, and cowboy poet Tom Swearingen. I pointed at the wrong guy. Thanks, Ernie, for correcting me on that. This is a big event, and I hate to jump ahead, but Dale, before we move on and spend the rest of the time harassing the musicians here, you wrap this up every year with a unique event. So I hate to skip over from Friday to Sunday, but just to make sure, we forgot to talk about it last year. You wrap up every rendezvous wraps up with Cowboy Church.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, that for some is an oxymoron, cowboy and church. But actually, cowboys, most of them are pretty spiritual, and they quite enjoy, that aspect of life. I mean, if you're out riding, horseback riding, which is something I really enjoy to do, there's a certain element of appreciation. You tend to appreciate nature a little bit more, and that's kind of what goes down. It's non-denominational. We meet. Typically, we have performers, and then it's kind of an open mic thing, although we have a set program. We try to keep it just to an hour. And we go through, and there's some very good poems recited and some very unique songs and things that might be, well, you probably aren't going to hear it in your normal church maybe, but you'll hear it there, and it's very uplifting. Yeah,
that is Cowboy Church. How this wraps up every year, but a lot in between now and that Cowboy Church event on Sunday. You can see the full schedule, everything we've talked about, everything we will talk about, and more about the musicians you'll hear more from here on the show this hour at cvcowboy.org. You can also visit CashValleyCowboyRendezvous.com. cvcowboy.org, a lot easier to type, so I lead with that one. You can find them on Facebook. Again, events tonight, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and then throughout the weekend. The Cache Valley Cowboy Rendezvous underway as we speak. Here in the studio, you've heard from Dale Major, founder of the Cache Valley Cowboy Rendezvous. Coming up, you'll hear more from the musicians here in the studio. Our friend Ernie Seitz returning to the studio today. Chris Mortensen and John Chandler here as well, and they will be a part of not only the rest of our show, but some of the big events at the Cache Valley Cowboy Rendezvous this year. cvcowboy.org, one more time, is the website, and we'll be back right after this.
My name is Dr. Brandon Preby, and I love being a dentist. I work with Drs. Curtis Taylor, Anthony Larson, and Paul Harris. When people ask where our office is, I actually have two answers. First, I spend part of the week at Logan Dental Associates, and then second, I spend the other part at Cherry Creek Dental in Richmond. Both locations are a full-service dental office and can take care of everyone in the family. Call or go online and make your appointment with the offices most convenient for you. Logan Dental Associates in Logan or Cherry Creek Dental in Richmond.
If you think it's expensive to hire a professional, just wait until you hire an amateur.
Why the heck is the roof leaking? Larry, you said you got it fixed.
I thought it was fixed, Donna. Everything was fine until it started raining.
Larry, that's the point of fixing the roof, is so we can actually live here when it's stormy outside.
This is David with Roof Rescue. Our experienced roofing team is tried and true and will fix your roof guaranteed. Visit roofrescueusa.com to schedule your free roof inspection. Roof Rescue, providing watertight peace of mind.
Whatever you want.
Hey, here we are again, folks. Live radio. Yeah.
I love it. Man, Bill's impressed too. You can hear him clapping over there. It's a pleasure to have you guys in the studio, and I wish our listeners could really appreciate this. But watching the talent, there's always been for me a big difference between hearing it. I'm glad you guys have the virtual options this year for those who prefer those, and also maybe expand the audience. But there's nothing like seeing this type of music performed live, and I think part of it is everything's moving so fast. It sounds just like this perfect machine, but you watch, the fingers moving, you watch everything you guys have to do to just make that 1 minute of music we just heard happen. It's a thing to see, and so everyone get out and take part in this. This is Cache Valley Cowboy Rendezvous is also part of this idea you hear a lot of in the West right now of preserving a culture that is for a long time was finding less and less space to exist or be acknowledged or be appreciated. And so events like the Cache Valley Cowboy Rendezvous keep a lot of this alive and bring some new energy to it in a way that without that, it'd be gone, right? I know there's already singing me in. It's perfect. Our guests here in the studio again, Ernie Seitz, who you just heard on the guitar there, Chris Mortensen and John Chandler. And who wants to take it first? So what brings you to this? You know what
Chris
this
said he had a poem he wanted to share.
this is.
He's going to bring this. We're going to bring this all up. The spiritual mood.
Yeah, this isn't a funny one. This is some. You mentioned Cowboy Church, and people might be wondering what exactly that is. But the poems and songs.
We don't know.
It's different every year.
Everybody's shrugging.
Yeah. Anyway, they'll have a religious theme to them. So this is a sample of what you might hear at Cowboy Church as a poem. This one's titled "The Christmas Sign." On a late December afternoon, the light was getting dim. Across the intersection was where I first spotted him. A younger man with his young boy were holding up a sign of printed words on cardboard that we've all read countless times. Merry Christmas was the message. It was very plain to see. Bold and strong in uppercase, it brought a smile to me. But almost as an afterthought, more words were scrawled below, harder to decipher in the fading light and snow. Out of work, can you help us? Was all the message said. That simple plea ate at my soul and stuck inside my head. We had to travel back that way, past man and boy again. I thought it wouldn't hurt a bit to hand that guy a 10. Their clothing was disheveled, and I felt a little better. Maybe the $10 could go toward a brand new sweater. But then again, the dad could just be spending it on booze. Another possibility whereby all of us would lose. Oh well, I thought, and drove away with an indifferent shrug. He may be buying heroin or meth or other drugs, or opioids might be the way he chooses to get high. I was cynical by nature and suspicious of this guy. Or could they laugh and go home and be eating snacks and fudge? I guess that we'll just never know, and it's not my place to judge. But Merry Christmas was the message, easiest to read, on that sign that they both held that suggested urgent need. And both of them had smiled at me before I drove away. The more I thought about it, maybe I was wrong that day. And then I thought about the man I someday hope to meet, who on the day before he died washed his disciples' feet. This season is the time we take to celebrate his birth, give thanks for his atonement with no limit to its worth. My Lord and Savior may have planned to put me in the spot to cause me to be more aware of everything I've got. This small event was far away in a less familiar town. I may seek out that place again the next time I go down. I hope those two are okay and their Christmas will be fine, spent with loving family like I'll be spending mine. We sometimes draw conclusions when we don't know all the facts. Life has its fleeting moments and we rarely get them back. I gave those two a little bit. My blessings have been plenty. Next time I'll pass that corner with a wallet full of 20s. 'Cause I believe we all can be a part of the reply to earnest prayers that folks send up to heaven in the sky. And we can all be instruments in how those souls are blessed. If we put forth the effort, He'll take care of all the rest.
More clapping. This is that's nice. A little taste of cowboy poetry there with some original backing track there from you guys.
Really original.
Really original.
We just kind of wrote that one.
That would just happen as we
on the fly. Yeah.
It's a great example though of the. Chris, has anybody ever told you have a little Johnny Cash in your voice? Have you heard that before?
Is it off tune?
It's no. There's just your speaking voice.
Johnny Cash
it's
couldn't
got a
even
little.
speak into it.
It's got a little Johnny Cash. Yeah.
You want to hear a little bit of Johnny Cash?
There we go.
Come on.
Really?
Yeah, we'll get to that in just a
You do.
No, that's a compliment, Jason, because I was once told I sounded like Neil Young.
No.
And I'm not crazy about his voice.
Yeah, you never want to be compared to Neil Young or Bob Dylan, right?
Right.
No, it's a pleasure to have you guys in to give us a taste of all this. And again, for listeners, this is what you can hear and experience in person at the Cache Valley Cowboy Rendezvous, underway this week, going up until Sunday. And cvcowboy.org, again, is the website where you can find out more virtual options, ticketed events, non-ticketed events. A lot of this is free. It's also an educational opportunity for anyone who attends. And you guys have been out doing a little of that already, right? You've been in the classrooms today, influencing young minds, as I joked with Ernie earlier.
Yeah, and John just got into town. He's going to be doing the same thing, but Chris and I and Mark and all those entertainers you just mentioned, we've all been in the schools having fun and talking to the kids, inspiring the kids, having fun with the children, and them inspiring us as well. It's really a unique, wonderful experience, I must say.
I love that this happens because we all have, it's a generalization, I know, but we all have this image of kids these days, and they're glued to their smartphones and their social media, and the idea of something like even acoustic music or the cowboy lifestyle appealing to them, I think a lot of us would assume no, but you guys have a different experience, right? What kind of reaction do you get when you go into the classrooms?
Well, the children are wonderful. I mean, today, I must say today, I entertained everything from like third graders to sixth graders in different period classes, and the kids were very, very respectable. And, there's always a few that act like I did when I was that age.
Me too, yeah.
but no, it was really fun. And, of course, you got to grab a hold of a kid's attention.
Sure.
You got to really get them real quick. So I generally start off the introduction. I go, wow! Then they go, whoa!
Scare them a little bit,
I do.
right?
I jump them right up, and I go, there you go. Okay, hang on, So that's what I do. But the kids are really receptive. I know Chris and Mark just did a show with a bunch of, what are they, kindergartners, Chris?
6 through 12.
Oh, really?
Really?
Well,
no, kindergarten through 6.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's what I meant to say.
That is amazing.
And they were very nice, but I must say the teachers have got these kids, they got them where they will pay attention and be respectful, which is very nice,
Do they have lots of questions? Do they come at you guys with a lot of questions
Oh,
after?
are you kidding me? I told a story about milking a cow. I was kind of warming up for a yodel. And I told a story about Mom milking a cow and how she called the cows in the morning by going yodel-a-tee, yodel-o-tee, and how I learned how to yodel. And all these kids would talk about, the question was about, well, how do you milk a cow? They were more interested in that cow,
Wanted a demonstration.
They wanted to know everything about it. You want to say, well, it was the udder, but they, so you go, okay. It's called teats. It's teats, and you squirt it, and milk comes out, and is that where we get milk? I said, yeah, and if you feed it chocolate, you'll get chocolate milk. That doesn't matter. So, they kind of, some of them ask questions, like, how old are you? That's a good one,
That's
but every once in a while, somebody will ask a good question, like, something about music or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
so it's not completely goofy. They do good things,
What about for you guys because again, this takes a lot of your time and energy to do, and so you go into these classrooms. What do you hope that leads to? Do you want to run into one of these kids one day and find out they're touring and?
Yeah, and in fact, that's happened to me in the past.
Really?
I did a children's recording several years ago called Cowboy Critter Campfire Tales. And we
I like it.
All these stories that we put together on the Paradise Ranch with White Elk and Wild Bill Weasel and the whole 9 yards, and we had this wonderful thing. So we did a CD on it, and it did really, really well. And so I went to a lot of schools and did this, and the kids were so into it, and they would write me. There's one I have about the Mustang racing the wind, because the wind wants to steal the Mustang's mane. And the kids were really, really moved by that. I got lots of letters, lots of calls. Still little kids from, 10, 12 years ago that were little then will still,
really?
I'll see and they'll say, I remember that. I still have it.
Yeah.
That is,
so they do. Yeah, they are very attentive, and teachers are saints.
That's especially after the last couple of years, right? What they've been through.
They put their heart and soul into this,
Yeah.
They really are the keepers of these children. It's amazing the time and energy they put in. I really see it when I go into schools because I'm glad to get the heck out of there after one day. I'm thinking, this is all I want to do right now. I'm going to go relax, and they go do it every single day. Deja vu.
It's funny. I would say the same thing. Or knowing you a bit, Ernie, just meeting you guys here today, I would say the same thing though about you. It's this is something you live. This isn't not to disparage any other musician out there, but I have a few musician friends, and they do their time on the weekends, and they do what they can to make money off of it, but they're headed somewhere else eventually. You guys, this is what you guys do, right? This is life for all of you, and
it's at least a big part of it.
Sure.
Yeah, I think we're all creative in maybe other ways too. I think I'm an author. I think you're a writer as well.
I wrote a book.
Yeah, and all these things. So I think if
and
it,
Chris has also written. Didn't you write a book too?
I did a poetry book. Well, it's poetry and song lyrics.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow.
I think we all write from our own experience. It's easier to write about what we're familiar with or what we have experienced.
Right.
Sure.
And I got to tell you, Dale's sitting on there being very, very willing to let us take up the time, but he's also a great songwriter. A wonderful guitar player.
I've heard of it. He has some pretty talented kids too. You notice that?
Yeah, it's kind of like music. They say it's sort of like diarrhea. It runs in the genes. Sorry, I couldn't.
I'm going to remember that one. We'll cut that out and use that as a drop for future shows.
So it's the experience of working with the kids, being around the kids, the energy of the kids are wide-eyed.
Yeah.
They really believe what you're going to tell them.
That's
so I mean, but you can have fun with them, and they're fun.
I love it. The idea of inspiring kids to pay attention to this, to learn about the cowboy lifestyle, the music, the story. We've mentioned this on previous shows when we've had Dale in, or you, Ernie, or anyone from the spoken word events that they used to have here all the time. Every story has a story behind it. Mm-hmm. Every song, you have these age-old traditional country songs that have a story behind it that is almost as fascinating as the song itself.
Yes. Yep.
And it's a history telling in a way, right? It's fascinating stuff. In the studio with us again, our guests, founder of the Cache Valley Cowboy Rendezvous, Dale Major, and musicians Ernie Seitz, Chris Mortensen, and John Chandler. cvcowboy.org is the website. The Cowboy Rendezvous underway as we speak and runs up until Sunday here in Cache Valley with events both online and at the Cache Valley Events Center there at the Fair Park. And we'll be back with more of our guests here in the studio right after this look at the news with KVNU's Bill Walter.
All right. Thank you, Jason. KVNU News brought to you by the Duck Hunter. A manslaughter charge has been filed against a Utah County Sheriff's deputy for his involvement in the March 2021 death of a BYU student in Provo. Fox 13 reports the second-degree felony charge was filed Monday by the Summit County Attorney's Office after it was asked to investigate the vehicle accident in which 22-year-old Joseph Spencer was killed. On March 16th, Joseph Richardson was in his own vehicle headed to a Pleasant Grove home where a man had fired at police and barricaded himself inside. Spencer was pulling out of a Taco Bell when he was struck by Richardson's Toyota Tacoma pickup truck. Documents show Richardson was driving almost 60 miles per hour when he hit Spencer, which was higher than the posted speed limit. Richardson allegedly told a police officer he had seen Spencer pulling out of the parking lot before hitting him. Due to a possible conflict of interest, Summit County Attorney Margaret Olson was asked to review the matter and decide if the deputy should be charged. Utah County Attorney David Levitt released the following statement Monday evening, thanking the multiple law enforcement agencies that worked through the lengthy investigation. Utah County Sheriff Mike Smith also gave a statement noting that Richardson has been with the Utah County Sheriff's Office for 17 years, but has been on leave pending the outcome of this investigation since the accident occurred. He said the incident is a tragedy for all involved. Their hearts are broken for the loss and pain it has caused. As conflict continues in Ukraine's fight against Russia, some Utahns feel like they cannot just stand by and watch. Fox 13 reports a small team with the nonprofit organization August Mission will fly to Eastern Europe to help out the millions of refugees fleeing Ukraine to find shelter in Poland. Bruce Roberts, CEO and founder of August Mission, said they don't want to just throw more resources at the problem. Their teams want to identify what are the specific needs of the people on the ground and try to resource and fill those needs. August Mission is dedicated towards helping refugees and displaced people find recovery and resettlement. KVNU weather brought to you by Berenson Caldwell. When the bills from your accident pile up, it's time for you to consider professional legal advice. It's time for you to get the Berenson Caldwell. Visit berensonlaw.com. Winter weather advisory in effect now till 11 o'clock Wednesday morning. A couple inches of snow tonight, more snow showers tomorrow, and then partly cloudy and colder on Thursday. For more details on these and other stories, visit CashValleyDaily.com.
John at the Duck Hunter asks, have you ever checked the dryer vent cover on the outside of your home? It could be broken, full of lint, or worse yet, you could have an unwanted guest living in it. John suggests you check your dryer vent today. And if you can't, call John at the Duck Hunter. He'll do a visual inspection, and if needed, run a camera through the dryer vent line to see what's going on in there. For a free consultation, call the Duck Hunter, 770-4813.
We are the Duck Hunter. Breathe better, save money, protect your home. We are the Duck Hunter.
Adams Wealth Advisors' entire team says, thank you, Cache Valley, for voting them the best financial planner in the Best of Northern Utah competition. Honesty and integrity is the hallmark of Adams Wealth Advisors. Let them earn your trust today.
This is Craig Adams. At Adams Wealth Advisors, we are here to help you receive peace of mind, whether you've done a lot of planning or a little planning. Count on our team at Adams Wealth Advisors for honesty, professionalism, and integrity.
Visit adamswealthadvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today. Please see adamswealthadvisors.com for more information on these recent awards.
The Great Western Sound is the best of the West. Come along with me to the Cowboy Jubilee. Come on now. The sound of silence right there.
Had a listener chime in during that last musical intro there and saying, this sounds so much better than you, Jason. We could just, For the People could become just the musical 2-hour show every afternoon, and maybe we can get, I don't know, that's a long time for you guys to play, right?
What's that?
Every day, 2 hours every day here on the radio.
We've been playing 8 hours every day since we got here.
That's true. Dale, that's one thing I've heard is Dale puts everyone to work. Oh, yeah. This is the Cache Valley Cowboy Rendezvous, underway as we speak, again with in-person and virtual events. In person at the Cache Valley Event Center there at the Fair Park. Online via Facebook Live, Instagram, and even their YouTube channel. cvcowboy.org is the website where you can see a full schedule of events. For example, tonight at 7:30, musicians Clive Romney and Doug Figgs will be performing, as well as cowboy poet Tony Swearingen. Did I say that right?
Tom Swearingen.
Tom
Swearingen, yeah.
Tony, I don't know if I turned wrong on this screen. Tom Swearingen. I appreciate you guys.
Tom's getting an awful lot of radio time.
Yeah, it better be good.
Concerned about this.
Better be good, right? In studio with us again, founder of the Rendezvous, Dale Major, Ernie Seitz, Chris Mortensen, and John Chandler here. You've heard them playing throughout the hour here, some talented fellows. Also in classrooms, teaching kids, telling stories to kids. And that's kind of the point of all this. The Cache Valley Cowboy Rendezvous is keeping something alive that had started to sort of fade from our memory and from our culture. That's such an integral part of the American West. I can't imagine a generation growing up without knowing some of these stories, some of these songs, some of this history. Before we get back into it, though, Dale, Turning back to you for a second here, I forgot to mention when we were talking at the first of the hour about the overall calendar, the lineup from now until Sunday. There's a competitive side to all of this, right? There are prizes to be won.
Oh yeah, we have a youth poetry contest, which we've had every year except last year. Last year we just had a youth showcase, but this year we've returned with the poetry contest, and we have a patriotic poetry contest as well. That's open to adults and youth. Now, and this year we've kind of upgraded the bottom line there or something, but there are buckles for the first place winners. Besides gift cards that get sponsored, we have a sponsor, Smith & Edwards, the Man's Mall down in Willard. They sponsor the
Man's Mall.
The
I like
Man's Mall,
that.
yeah. They sponsor this the poetry contest, and then Loving Liberty, which is kind of a spin-off of Smith & Edwards, the founder there. They do the patriotic poetry contest. There's $600 in gift cards to Smith & Edwards to go out besides the buckle. So if you know a patriotic poem, or if you've written one and you want to come and present it, Saturday morning, 8 o'clock, at the event center is the opportunity to do it. A couple other things some things that we've added that are different, besides the virtual. This year on Thursday night, we're having a square dance opportunity for youth and adults, for parents and kids. They wanted to do something in the schools, but it's kind of hard to get too many. Yeah, so we're going to combine them all. We're going to invite them all to come to the event center Thursday at about 5:30, starting at 5:30, and we're going to have a caller there and an opportunity to learn to square dance. And of course, if you got kids or grandkids, bring them. Come anyway if you know how to do it, and if that's something that's interests you, we'd ask you to participate there. And after that, we're going to have a youth dance with just kind of like what they do at various areas, the country swing dance that kids seem to really like. Yeah,
that is very cool. As you can see, this is a week of events from cowboy poetry to musicians to, as Dale just mentioned, poetry competitions, square dances, youth dances, and more. The big headlining events, of course, are scheduled for Friday and Saturday night, right? The big headline performances, of which we have here in the studio, one of them, right? Mm-hmm. And those are at 7 p.m., but most of the musical events between now and Friday night are 7:30, right?
7:30, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And again, those happen, you can be there in person at the Cache Valley Event Center at the Fair Park or online for all the events each night at 7:30 this week. And then Friday night at 7, Saturday night at 7, you have your big headlining performances. And it is, what's it like, for all of you living this life, knowing this music, learning and teaching, and then once a year you all get crammed together in the same space for this Cowboy Rendezvous. That has to be an experience in and of itself, right?
Well, that's really a lot of fun. Again, I haven't seen John and I were just talking about this. The last time I seen John, we entertained in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and that was
probably 20 years ago now.
I think 20 years is too modern. Yeah,
that's
and so but we keep up with his career.
They never asked us back. I don't know.
I don't know.
There's a picture of you two somewhere on a wall there, right?
Chris Mortensen, great singer-songwriter. And it's always great to talk to Chris, and we keep in touch. But the neatest thing about this thing is that we all get together and we get to share some stories with each other and hang out some with each other. And, it's way fun, man. It's a gathering.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the gathering aspect is what makes these things what they are, too, because there's so many of us that are very geographical in our frames of where we play and so
sure.
forth. I'm a Colorado guy. You guys are Idaho and
New York.
All of the stuff. But it's always great to get together and see those people that we don't see at these type events, and
sure.
And this is just one of the very best. I'm a rookie this year, and I am so excited to be here.
Be a part of it. That's
Rex Allen said it's great to see old familiar faces and new teeth. Hey, can I ask John a question? Can I ask this guy a question?
Yeah, please.
John.
Yes, sir.
You've written some books, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've written 3 novels, and I've written 3 nonfictions, and just finishing up with a friend of mine 3 children's books that we're working on
congratulations.
now. Thank you. Yeah. So
very nice.
All sorts of good stuff. And
when
as
do you
I
sleep?
age, I spend more time sitting in chairs writing than doing other stuff. I think so.
Hey, I saw Mickey Gilley. On
It's good to
stage,
see him
and
because
he
it
had
won't be long. You won't get to see him anymore.
he had a nice, comfy stool. You don't have to stand for that stuff. That's all I'm saying. I don't think he moved that entire concert, but man, he never stopped either. He had a lot of energy. This is, I grew up with classic country music, I think we call it now. Anything that came out before '85, I think, is what. But I've always been intrigued by the history of all of this and the storytelling that a lot of these traditional, songs, where it's actually the history of a family as they migrated west or something like that. And we always knew them as campfire songs, or
that's what they are.
Is that a good way to describe what you guys are bringing back to the forefront here, keeping alive?
Sure is.
A campfire style
Absolutely.
storytelling.
The campfire is the most important gathering that you can have.
That
You
is.
say something, Chris? Oh, okay.
Do you, Chris? You read a poem for us there. Obviously, storytelling is a part of this for you. Is it being added to? Are people making sure that they're adding to this collection of campfire style storytelling?
Nobody's running out of things to say. It's also very inspiring for a novice to see others doing their work, and it makes them want to say, "Well, I can do that too."
That's
well, we do the same thing. We have a lot of jam sessions, but people are welcome to come.
Raspberry, blueberry.
People are welcome to come, regardless of ability level, and that's a great way to learn and pick up things, especially for guitar players, because you steal licks from other guitar players.
Oh, wow.
And you're going to see something new.
I've never done that.
Whoever knows a secret, don't let it out.
A few years ago up in Shoshone, Idaho, Ernie and I were part of just a tremendous jam session with some really talented pickers, and it just kind of made my whole month. It was just so much fun. And that's
Kristen
when
Harris and John Reedy, Guitar Johnny, and I don't know, you and I and a few others.
Rick Steinke, Linda Hauser were there, little Joe McCutcheon from up in Oregon.
Boy, you don't have any. There wasn't a stinker in the lot. That's
No,
amazing.
no,
sorry, it was fun.
It's fascinating to think of this as, like a. Not exclusive club's the wrong word, but this is definitely, you all obviously get to know each other and are familiar with each other, and family-like, I guess, would be the sense I get. Speaking with you, Ernie, over the years, and you two here today, it definitely has a family culture to it. And along with that, does it get? Are there times when you feel, kind of crunched in by the outside world? What's it like to be a musician of this kind, an artist of this kind, a writer of this kind, and you watch everything around you happening at the pace that it's happening, and we're carrying these computers in our pockets now. Does everything mesh well together? Do these two worlds
I
go together
so.
well?
Luckily, my sons can program my phone for me. We're
You
pretty
can't
good shape.
get a 10-year-old.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. That's
That's
what it comes
right.
down to. So, but no, I think the whole, as we travel around the country and we run into each other, even infrequently, like Ernie and I have 20 years, that doesn't mean I haven't heard Ernie's material in 20 years
Sure.
or talked to people about him in 20 years. It's just great, and then we'll come back. I think that I've shared the stage with at least a dozen of the people that are here for this particular gathering.
Wow.
And so
And music
that is so cool.
it is evolving as well.
Yes.
In other
Sure.
words, from the days of, from this valley they say you are going. We will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile. To that's a Red River Valley, and to things like I'm singing the dude or dude. Just singing the dude or dude. So, the music is evolving with time, too.
That's very
There's
cool.
a lot of this thing that I think that was unique about this gathering, and I note it in almost all the gathering nowadays. It's a really singer-songwriters thing. It's a lot of artists who are very passionate about Western music, who are now bringing their own, I don't know. people who grew up in a certain era of music in their lives have a tendency to be doing it now. You know, they've taken some of that stuff. You take country western music. Well, that's country music. Western music is a whole lot different than, you know, you're cheating hard or even Randy Travis or those other things. It's evolved into much more aggressive, almost rock and roll music with a country's twist, and that's because most of the guys in the band, that's what they grew up with.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they heard. That's
with John Michael Montgomery. I was an opening act.
Oh wow!
And I wanted to meet him because I was an opening act, so I knocked on the door, and of course it's a Nashville thing. What do you want, man?
Crack the door just a bit.
You want to know if they want a watchtower, but that and I said, hey, I'd like to. I'm the opening act, but when they opened up the door, I mean, it was screaming, shred music.
Oh really?
And that's what they were listening to. And
I love that.
So I'm pretty sure that sooner or later their music's going to be influenced by that.
Sure.
And so you see that in country music today. A lot of great picking and grinning, but it ain't Bob Wills and the Texas Playboy.
Yeah, it's changed a lot.
But there's a time when country actually absorbed a lot of Western stuff with the Outlaws.
That's true. And Marshall Tucker
and all those things too. And Waylon Jennings, they started doing country songs. That were Western songs that were country.
Yeah, that's right. James Taylor, Sweet Baby Jane.
Yeah, absolutely. All those things.
And then along comes Shania Twain and ruins it all.
Bon Jovi.
Yeah, that's right. I'm cowboy.
Yeah, man.
You ever seen a lot of crossover in the... But that's what makes this fascinating to me, and that's why I love the idea of the storytelling, singer-songwriter style storytelling, keeping a prominent spotlight.
We're always looking for a hook line or something to start a song from.
Sure.
And so you have to be paying attention all the time because you'll hear something. Last fall I heard, or about a year ago, called a friend. I said, how are you doing? He says, well, I'm having dust for breakfast. So he was remodeling. I thought, wow, what a great song title.
It is a great song.
So a song grew out of that. Another time, a friend of mine at a birthday party stumbled going up the stairs on the way out, and he goes, I stumbled on my memories. And I said, can I use that? Can I take that?
Can I steal that?
So those things are always happening, and if you're aware of them, you can make something neat.
You know, Chris, I'm working on one now that it just came to me back when we were all in the road bands and we would be out in front. There's a song that was written by J.J. Cale called Magnolia, and all the bands did Magnolia, and it's an incredibly effective song, I should say, affecting or effective, one of the two. And people would get on the dance floor, and it would be hard to pry them apart.
Yeah.
And so at some point we started thinking, well, wait a second, if you're under 40, your parents probably conceived you to this song. And so I'm writing this song called Magnolia Babies.
Magnolia Babies.
I like that.
For people who are that old.
I suppose I drank too much and woke up the next morning in a different house.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
That's the way.
Hey, listen, we're all country boys, too. I mean, Western music and cowboy music, we've all cut our teeth on that, and we love it. But we've also... we sing. I'm sure every one of us in here got a good old country song.
Sure.
Yeah. And so we
do you have
mix it up.
Do you have one you can send us out on? This is we're down to the last couple of minutes here, and let me throw it out one more time. Cache Valley Cowboy Rendezvous is underway as we speak. cvcowboy.org. You can see a full lineup of all the musicians and artists that will be a part of this event from tonight to Sunday here in Cache Valley at the Cache Valley Event Center and online at cvcowboy.org, Facebook, and more. I've linked to it all on our Facebook page. And now we'll wrap the show up with a little music from Ernie Seitz, Chris Mortensen, John Chandler, the musicians here in the studio.
Sometimes when your love has brought you down, well, I ain't no quitter. I'll probably stay here with her, even though she made me out a clown. Yeah, very kind of woman can't be found. Could I be right? Oh, could it be right? Oh, could it be wrong? Could it be wasting my time all along? Could it be better off on my own, or could it be right? Whoa. Why don't you try to pick one, Johnny? Go ahead. We still And Lord, I've had my share of both. 'Cause the water's getting rough. Should I say I've had enough? Should I up and abandon this old boat? Pack it up and say adios, all she wrote. Could it be right? Oh, could it be right?
Know about it. Talk about it.
This nation belongs to all of us.
News Talk KVNU Logan, 610 AM and 102.1 FM.